Man, that is just... this
my God. Oh my God, and in the UK...
Oh my God, is it worse? 85.
92%.
In the UK?
Yeah.
92%. It's all right because all of our fans are in Slovenia and the Philippines. So don't worry, we're not going to be judged.
What?
Oh.
And apparently hens are 5 times more likely to cheat than stags.
See, all you girls, you go on podcasts, you say that guys are assholes and they cheat and they lie and they steal. Hens. Shh, don't tell mum.
Hello and welcome to Shh Don't Tell Mum.
My name's Barney.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is the number 4th most popular podcast in...
Philippines!
That's right! The Philippines. Jamie, have you ever been to the Philippines?
No, I don't think I have.
I haven't either, but it looks amazing. It's definitely on the bucket list of places to go. Mm-hmm. 4th. You excited about that?
I'm very excited. I'm excited because I've been away travelling to Spain recently and... What?
Segue. So are you excited about 4th place? Well, I've been to Spain recently and I'll tell you what.
And that's really close to the Philippines.
4th isn't even a medal. It's gold, silver, bronze. And then what should 4th get?
I don't know.
A patch of grass.
But to be honest, we're literally pulling at the teeth right now.
Pulling at the teeth. Scratching the surface. Clawing away at the chalkboard.
Is that not the same?
I don't know. Scratching... Wait... What did you say? We're pulling the teeth?
Yeah,
no, it's not pulling the teeth.
It is pulling at the teeth.
No, if you're just got your head above water, essentially is what you're trying to say. We're clenching. What is it? It's holding on by our fingertips is essentially what you're saying. Fitty, you've got a big ass bruise on your leg as well. I nearly hit it. How is it? You have a big bruise on your leg.
One?
What do you mean, which one?
That one.
I can't see it because you have the knees up.
That one. Honestly, guys,
happened?
I just came back from a hen. No, this was the stage. I did a stage show the other day, and I came off stage, and the guitarist had to pull his Avi, his name is, just for
Avi.
all of you who know, had to pull his guitar pedal board that he had backwards because all the kids for the kids party jumped on the stage and were like jumping, and I was like, I'm gonna crush all his work. So he pulled it back, which meant I had to walk around the decks between him and the decks, and there was a surfboard sticking out, and then I walked into it 3 times. On the 3rd I collapsed on the floor and was carried off the stage, and they were like, are you okay, you need some ice? I was like, yes, I need some ice, and then I didn't go back on after that. I haven't had a booking since.
Calamity Jamie, as they'll call you from now on.
Which is mad, but I mean, hey-ho, it's fun. But guys, look, we're in a new space.
We are indeed a brand new studio. Essentially, what I would like to put in, I'd like to put my 2 cents in and say that this is what I wanted to be the podcast studio from the beginning. But we've had many trials, tribulations, and changes within this room because...
It used to be the nursery.
This was Rocket's nursery when he was first born. So this was where the bed was. And then over there, where camera 1 is actually where Rocket's cot was. It's quite a big room. It's like the 2nd biggest room in the house, really. Yeah,
it's big as their living room.
It's the second biggest bedroom.
I mean, our bedroom upstairs is massive.
Our bedroom is like the whole floor, the whole floor upstairs. So this is like half of this floor. And it's just a nice, big, comfortable room. So my desk, my workstation's over there. And I thought, we have this awesome sofa here, but all the audio equipment was in Jamie's office. And that's what we were most worried about, wasn't it? We wanted the audio to be banging because this is a podcast primarily. The audio has to kind of come first and the video comes second. And so we were apprehensive about bringing it up here. But now that I have a computer up here that's usable... We have the audio.
Yeah, and we've got like a convertible, what is it called?
Like an XLR box.
A sound box.
Sound box, yeah.
Which plugs into the XLRs. So it's actually really doable. We just need to sort out the wire issue. And obviously, this microphone is hooked onto the light behind us.
It's balancing.
So next week we'll have another pole. Like it will be basically a tripod pole that can actually sustain the weight of the microphone. And then we'll slowly dress it, I think. We'll slowly give it some va-va-voom behind it.
Yeah, we'll give it a bit of character, right? I feel like this is nice and spacious, though. I feel like I have, space to talk to you.
Yeah.
My only thing is I've still got to crane my fucking neck sideways to look at you.
It's mad.
It'd be nice if we were, diagonal to each other or facing each other or something.
I'm excited.
So I'm kind of ugh.
We say next week, but you're going away. We're recording all the podcasts this week.
We're going to record a bunch of episodes for everyone so that we don't have to,
take a break. We don't want to take a break because we love you.
And also, we don't want to tamper with the actual setup because when I go away, we then got to record over Zoom and stuff, and quality's crap, the audio's crap, the video's crap. So We're going to record a bunch here so the audio and the video remains epic. Epic styles. 4th in the Philippines, Jamie.
4th in the friggin' Philippines.
Margaritas! That's what we should have.
So,
talk to me.
Where have I been?
You've been in Spain on a hen do and you got shit-faced blasted for the past 4 days and you came back an empty shell of a human being with a beautiful tan. How are you feeling?
I'm not tan. Am I tan?
No.
Am I not tanned at all?
Yes. Yeah, you are. A bit more brown, but I wouldn't say you looks like you've been on holiday.
Don't worry, I'm going to go on a sunbed tomorrow.
Awesome. That's as you do when you come back from a week of sun.
Because I had to have my head covered for half of the fucking day.
Why?
Because I was like wanting to vomit into my face.
Into my face.
Honestly.
Wanting to vomit into my face.
I went to a hem do. It's one of my best friend's hem parties. And it's really weird because we did a TikTok video about marriage the other day. It was like a TikTok dance and we mentioned like we don't want to get married. And a lot of people in the comments were like, well, why aren't you married? It was one of the big questions that...
Well, why aren't we married?
Yeah, and I think from me listening to other podcasters in our space, a lot of them are American and a lot of them like will not, have sex before marriage.
Yeah.
And I feel like the culture in London is not like that.
No, not at all.
It's kind of the opposite. Like marriage is like the last on the list. Half of my mum's family friends, all of them that didn't get married are still together. All of them that did get married have all divorced.
Does this mean that Jamie is slowly changing her mind about marriage?
Well, it's weird. And then I thought to myself, how many people cheat on hens and stags?
Yeah, I mean, it must be insane, the numbers.
Do you want me to tell you the percentage?
Well, before you tell me the percentage, I mean, even some of the videos that you were sending me, not that any cheating went on this hen do that Jamie went on, but you kind of, it's this weird culture that surrounds hen do's and stag do's where, you go strip clubs and you get absolutely off your face drunk and God knows what goes on, especially on stags. It's like they're trying to get the husband to be as messed up as physically possible because it's hilarious and stuff. And then you do things you regret or things that you don't even remember, or, you end up freaking upside down in a dumpster in a back alley in Manchester.
What would be your dream stag?
Mix in a sprinkle of golf.
Okay.
And like a really nice like holiday with like my best pals, my brother, maybe my dad. Oh, like somewhere warm. Even, like we've been on a family holiday to like Turkey before. We went to Kalkan, which is like this nice,
it's really lovely
seaside, it's not a resort. It's like a seaside town.
Yeah.
It's really nice restaurants. It's like affordable as well. It's not crazy expensive. So for us, I think that it would be something like that. Yeah, mix in a little bit of golf, sunny holiday. Yeah, you go out and you get drunk and stuff like that, but it's not like a lads on tour, let's go to Vegas and blow 20 grand on slot machines. I can't be asked to do shit like that.
But it was so friggin' expensive. Like everything right now is expensive. But to the point that we were there for 3 days and we all spent like minimum $1,000. 3 days.
Wow. It's $1,000 in 3 days.
But yeah, so do you want to know the percentage?
Go on then, percentage me up. How many people... What percent is this combined or separate?
How many people cheat on hen and stag parties? Just people.
I'd say
non-binary.
Okay, I'm gonna be harsh because I think it's quite a high number. I'm gonna say 58%.
Okay, you happy with that? Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. The percentage of people that cheat on hen and stag do's is 70%.
Oh my God. I mean, first of all, where are you getting the statistics from? And like, what is this survey? Total and utter bullcrap. Or if it is legit, that's 70%. You know why? It's because it's drilled into people when they go to these stupid like stag and hen do's.
I'm telling you.
That they go, it's drilled into you that it's like, this is your last holiday as a free man or as a free girl. You can do what you want without any repercussions. And it's like, of course there's going to be repercussions. You're still in a relationship. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Mate, it doesn't make sense.
So that's a new study has revealed that far more people cheat on hen and stag do's than people might have previously thought. New research has found that more than 70% of Americans have cheated on their partners while attending a bachelor or bachelorette party. How come it's cheating up to 70%? Yeah, and that was done by... it's just a new survey has found out.
Man, that is just... this
my God. Oh my God, and in the UK...
Oh my God, is it worse? 85.
92. 92%.
In the UK?
Yeah.
92%. It's all right because all of our fans are in Slovenia and the Philippines. So don't worry, we're not going to be judged.
What?
Oh my God.
And apparently hens are 5 times more likely to cheat than stags.
See, all you girls, you go on podcasts, you say that guys are assholes and they cheat and they lie and they steal. Hens.
That's mad.
You guys, you all cheat, not the stags. That's disgusting behaviour. Right,
Wow.
I mean, speaking on slapping...
I was way too drunk to cheat on you, by the way.
Don't worry about it. Like, I have faith in you. I trust you. And back to your point about people getting married when, like, you know, in America and stuff like that, the whole childhood sweetheart American dream thing is all ingrained in kids in America. And I feel like it's also a lot of the people that we follow, let's say, that are in the same vein as us, like millennial parents. A lot of the successful ones, they're all from the South. And the ones that are from the South, they have that, you know, traditional family values thing ingrained in them, and they get married very young.
Very young, like 21. I mean, I was
I don't want to know what I was doing when I was 21.
Oh, when I was 21, what were we doing when we were 21?
I don't want to speak about that.
I was a really late bloomer. Like, I didn't have sex until I was 18. So
yeah, if
I was in America, that would probably be the normal age to get married. I mean, look at Matt and Abby. They got married at the age of 19. But also, they couldn't even drink at their wedding day.
But also, it's not like we're saying it's a bad thing. It's just so left field from the culture that we're used to in the UK. People getting married when they're 18, 20, even like, let's say under the age of 25. Everyone has this weird point of view of, oh, wow, that's a bit young. Are you sure? Like, that seems like you've got your whole life ahead of you. But in America, it doesn't seem to be, you don't really seem to have that mentality as much.
Yeah, you start young. You start having kids young. It's like a completely
Which I guess is fair, and they're happy and there's no issues there. So I guess that it's just a cultural thing in the UK. We're just not used to that.
Yeah.
Crazy. But tell you what, speaking of people getting slapped down, talking about hen do's, stag do's and things like that, it got me thinking, and I saw this story on the Daily Mail, the newspaper who shall not be named.
Oh, no.
They're so mean to Meghan Markle, bro. Like, I feel like we should just leave her alone now. She gets piled on so hard by people, and I get it. People have been hating on them for a while because it's like they're capitalizing on the fact of who he is, and he's been complaining a lot about, you know, his upbringing and stuff, and people are like, you're a prince, how can you complain, and blah, blah, blah.
How can you complain?
I know, how dare you, you're a prince. But put all that aside, she's had a podcast with Spotify for a little while. This Spotify podcast has now been ended. I don't know if it's been 1 season, 2 seasons, whatever it is. And now they've decided to cut ties with her. It wasn't as successful as they thought it would be.
But they've done it with Obama as well, Michelle. They dropped hers.
Mate, and people are gunning for Meghan Markle, going, oh, well, okay, shall I read you the headline? This is on the front page of the Daily Mail right now. Daily Mail. Turns out Meghan Markle was not a great audio talent or necessarily any kind of talent. Hollywood talent agency dismisses the Duchess as a talentless broadcaster after Spotify axes the $18 million deal.
They probably have no connection to Meghan Markle, that agency, anyway.
Yeah, and like these people that talk about it, they're just literally making shit up. It's this making up headlines going, well, they told her that she was absolutely talentless and that's why it's... No, probably not. They probably just weren't hitting the numbers that were projected. They probably went to her and said, do you want to try this to try and up the numbers? And she probably said, no, that's not what we were contracted to do. Mm-hmm. And so then, okay, cool, let's cut ties, bye.
How about the fact that when COVID was happening, the Daily Mail had 2 articles next to each other. One was like 90% of people getting COVID are dying, and the other one was like 75% of people with COVID are recovering or don't see any symptoms at all. Like, and you just kind of go, these are completely opposite articles on the same newspaper. This is why I boycotted.
Yeah, it's also why people just don't trust the news in general. It doesn't matter if it's Daily Mail, The Sun, you know, BBC. Like, people just don't trust the news anymore. There's no faith in the news anymore because when, you know, the shit hits the fan, when there's a pandemic, when there's political problems, you really get, it shines through on the political side of the news, how one-sided and how there's so much agenda going on, no matter what newspaper it is. You see people leaning left, leaning right, whatever it is, but it's so obvious that you go, oh, I don't trust them anymore because they're clearly just pushing this agenda constantly. And there was even a horrendous clip that I saw that they showed on Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was a video of all the different news outlets during the pandemic, and they're all saying the exact same speech, word for word, like verbatim, and there's like 30 different newsrooms or whatever, news outlets, and it's it's all identical. They're reading the same script.
You need to find it and put it on our Shhh Don't Tell
It's
Mum
awful.
Instagram.
Makes me feel ill. Yes, I will. We're going to put it on the Shhh Don't Tell Mum Instagram. That is one S, 3 H's, dot Don't Tell Mum on Instagram.
So now, guys, we're going to actually start like giving you more content from what the podcast is. So when we're talking about certain stuff, head over to the Instagram and check it out for context. So
yeah, we'll add a little bit of an intro maybe from the podcast, and then leading into the clip that we were talking about, just so that, like Jamie said, it gives you a bit of context to come back to the podcast and understand what we're talking about. And maybe eventually we'll actually have them live on the pod. That's what I would love, because some people have that. They have a laptop hooked up to the visuals, and they just bam, play the video live.
Yeah. Gabby's giving us her projector, so we could do stuff with the projector.
Oh my God, do you want to project things in here?
We could with our amazing Banks light. Hello, very, very nice. Can you tell I'm hungover?
Are you hanging right now?
I'm still hanging. My heart is beating through my... Guys, I went for an ECG today, and they said it wasn't normal.
What is an ECG? Tell people.
An ECG is they just tie you up to loads of strings and test your BPM.
Strings? Was it strings?
It was like, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Like with stickers on your feet, on your chest, on your back.
Damn.
Yeah, it was good.
You had a slight irregular heartbeat, right?
Yeah, slightly. So we're going to have more tests because I'm getting like a dull ache, and we don't know what it is. It could be digestion from drinking.
Indigestion.
Acid reflux, all those kind of things. So the big question is for today's podcast.
Big questions.
Is a lot of people ask me this, friends, and I've had some comments in the past as well. Financially, how do you do it when you are not married? Because we have a new book, and this is my product placement of the week. People.
Yeah, pass the product, baby. We haven't done this in a while. We used to do pass the product on our first, 4, 5, 6 episodes, I think.
Everybody knows I love a book. So this is I Will Teach You to Be Rich, the journal, and it's from the Netflix series, hang on, I'm going to remember that name, How to Get Rich. So it's a really, really good show, and they get all the couples to actually fill in this journal, and you basically have to be on the same wavelength with your partner when it comes to your goals. Where are you heading to? And it's by Ramit Sethi, and I am going to message him, I'm going to email him.
You love doing that. You love reading a book, and if you really enjoy the book, you message. This is actually quite a nice trait that Jamie has, I think. She reads a book, and if she really enjoys it, she'll reach out to the author just on social media just to give them props, because I feel like
they always respond every single time. Every single time they respond and go, "Oh my God, Jamie, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Let me know if you need anything else." And I'm always like, wow.
More books, signed ones that we can sell on eBay.
Journals. I love a journal.
No matter who you are, no matter how successful you are or, famous you are or whatever like that, if you receive a genuine message from someone who has watched your podcast, who has listened to an audiobook of yours, who's read a book of yours hardback, and says how much they appreciate the words that you've created, because these people put so much time and effort, blood, sweat, tears into these products. For you to then message them and say, by the way, I really loved it, please, if you're bringing out anything else, let us know. And I think we naturally kind of plug it like we are now. We're naturally plugging it. You're not being paid to do any of this. You just love the item.
Yeah.
People love to receive messages like that. It doesn't matter if you're freaking Justin Bieber or if you're, however successful you are. If you receive a genuine, nice message about your craft that you work your arse off on, it's such a nice thing. Like, we were over the moon about our first ever email on the Don't Tell Mum podcast.
Yeah, episode
from Daniela. Episode 17.
17, and it took one message on social media. We were like, oh my God, that's so cool.
It was an email.
It was an email.
It's the Bankses at gmail.com. That's It's the Banks with 2 S's at gmail.com.
So if you do listen to this podcast and you love it, please give it a rating online, wherever you get your podcast from. And if you have another bit of time, you can add a comment too, because we will be reading your comments out on the podcast. But back to I Will Teach You to Be Rich, the
Talk
journal.
to me. Go.
So it's basically, what have you thought about your rich life and what does that look like in your mind? And funnily enough, me and Barney, sometimes when we don't spend a lot of time together, we go off track in the relationship and have to pull it back together and go, okay, what is our goal? Where do we want to get to? We've developed so much from buying a house, doing up the house, selling the house, buying this house, and we're always evolving consistently. And times get really tough, especially if somebody is not working as much as the other. We have been in cases where Barney hasn't worked or I haven't worked, and one of us is richer than the other. So we've decided to like start pulling our finances together, keep our businesses separate, but put it together. So when I do have a dry month, he can offset amounts and vice versa. I can help him. And I feel like that is a very healthy relationship within money, but we still get to keep our companies separate. So it's one of those questions I always seem to get from friends. How do you do it when you are not married? Because when you're married, it kind of all comes together. Like you have everything.
Yeah, when you're married, it solidifies kind of that joint union of everything. So then bank accounts become, like separate bank accounts become one bank account if you want them to. Everything that you've had separately is now, you know, what's mine is yours. That's kind of the promise. But you don't have to get married for it to be like that. And I feel like we've been kind of fumbling along for so long, and, you know, having our own finances, our own companies, our own self-employment. We work for ourselves. So everything that we earn is kind of like we cherish it because neither of us are employed. So every job that you earn, that you get, feels like a kind of a successful moment for yourself. And then it's not about not sharing it, but I feel like you feel like it's your own because you're self-employed and you're like, I've earned this money. But as a couple who've been together for, you know, over 7 years now, you know, of course, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. Give me all your fucking money, Jamie.
So one of the things in here is what my life looks like today. And one of the things that we put was unpredictable because we are freelancers and we've got to think ahead. So what our rich life looks like tomorrow, we want to have an investment portfolio. So that is our goal.
Investment
And we'll take you on the journey
portfolio.
with us. We'll let you know how we go with that. Obviously, like mortgage rates are through the roof right now. We've got to take that into consideration. I had a conversation with my friend about it and she was like, when it gets really tough, everybody just goes on to interest-only mortgages, which is kind of scary because your goal is to pay off your mortgage. Because once that's paid off, that's a huge weight off your chest. Yeah. And also childcare is very, very expensive. So these are the things you take into account. Like we think about a lot of the time, will we have a second kid? And right now, is it financially viable to have another kid during this time that we're in? I don't fucking know.
Jeez, especially with all the percentages going up, like rates going up, cost of living going up and stuff. Bringing more kids into the world is kind of just like it makes you a little bit more nervy about it. Like I feel like we're okay, we're like comfortable right now, but the problem with being self-employed and having your own companies and stuff is that can all change really quickly.
Also, who's going to want to book an old DJ?
Me, I'll book an old DJ. I'll book you.
Thanks, babes.
I'll book you for my wedding.
I'll just
to
have
Pamela.
to consistently do my podcasting world, and people can come to this studio, but they'll have the bank sign above us.
You didn't bloody hear me. My joke fell flat, and it was really annoying. I said I was going to book you for my wedding with Pamela.
Oh, you and Pamela need to
Me
get
and Pam.
He's been having this like long-term affair.
Pam and Beatrice.
Pam. Oh, and Beatrice.
And Beatrice.
Oh yeah.
Who's your? Do you have one?
No, you never said it.
Oh, we had a joke ages ago, and I don't know, maybe one day I was leaving our flat in London, and you said, oh, you're going to go see your other girlfriend? And I was like, yeah, Beatrice is just waiting outside in the car. So then Beatrice became like my fake new girlfriend. Yeah. And then we were out one time, and wasn't it someone was dressed as, it wasn't T, it was before then, but someone was dressed as Pamela Anderson, or I saw Pamela Anderson on TV, and I was like, oh, Pamela Anderson.
I was like, Pamela.
And Jamie was like, you fancy Pam? And I was like, yeah, go on. We like a bit of Pam.
There you go.
And then it's Pamela and Beatrice.
Would you ever go to a sex club?
Would I? Not now.
I'm not saying let's go to a sex club. You're really thinking about it, aren't you?
I'm like, okay, what's Jamie trying to say to me?
So, how was your time with Rocket without me? Was there any mishaps? Because we, at the beginning of Shhh Don't Tell Mum, would always do, Barney would say a little secret of what happened, and I'd only find out by listening back to the podcast. So, is there any little secrets you have up your sleeve?
Little Rocket secrets. Secrets, I don't really think. I kind of, over the weekend, I obviously had him on Friday. He was at nursery. I took you to the airport while he was at nursery. He came back, so I got him from nursery, and then he had the evening here. And it was just kind of like going through the motions. It's kind of like a similar one. I think when I'm in solo parent mode and you're not around, it's quite just, I keep things straightforward and try not to go too over the top. Like, so when you have solo parent mode, you still are like, let's have messy play, let's go outside, and whereas I'm kind of, I don't know, it's not like a strict parent thing, but I'm just like right, let's just have a calm evening. So I'm like, put a little bit of telly on, have food, play for a bit, like on the carpet with some toys, and it's just kind of a mellowing down. And when Jamie picks him up from school and has him, she's like, let's go crazy. So it's nice that he has that. I love it. It's nice that he has that dynamic between us two.
I am the crazy mum.
You are the crazy mum.
He's gonna look, but he's going through a really fun motion now. Like he's becoming. He's a toddler. We have a toddler. And I thought, even you thought, you were like, Jamie, you're going to come into your own when he becomes a toddler. And I totally have. Like, I'm really enjoying these moments with him, like running around the garden, laughing, like rolling on the floor. I did a little video of it today, and I'll put it on the Instagram. It's so freaking cute. Oh, my God. But, yeah, it's just those moments when you're so busy, you come to and you go, God, we're so lucky, like being able to spend quality time with our son, the amount we do. And that's one thing I'm so grateful for, being able to be self-sufficient and spend all this time as a family together with Rocket.
Yeah, being self-employed means that, you know, you can take your own time off, which is great. But it also means you kind of constantly, I wouldn't say worrying, but you constantly have to be on the ball when it comes to work. So, you know, we have to always be thinking about the next job. Like, what can we do to improve? What can we create in order to get another client? All that kind of stuff. And it's always in the back of your mind. So that can generate a bit of stress if, you know, you're not working. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, on the flip side of that, we can take any time off whenever we want. And so having, you know, a lot of time with Rocket is kind of, you know, our biggest perk, I would say, of being self-employed. But I guess that over the weekend, you know, I went to see my dad. So I guess the main key point of this weekend was how lucky and fortunate we are that our mums both live nearby, so that they could, you know, they could juggle Rocket while I had to go and see my dad and sort some bits out, like, because he lives like 3.5 hours away, and then come back and know that Rocket was in safe hands and stuff was great. So that he didn't have to be in the car for 6 hours. That would have been a nightmare for him.
Oh my gosh.
You imagine?
Hard. He can't even do 20 minutes. Like I took him to dad's and like I had to pull over 3 or 4 times. So I was meant to get to my dad's at like 3 p.m. I got to my father's at 5. So that took an extra 2 hours. Oh man, driving on your own with a kid, that is tough. That is one of the toughest parenting. And our seat is backwards. And I sometimes think to myself, when do you turn the car seat? Like, when is the healthier time? And when do you buy bed sheets? Like, we're all going through the stage now where I'm like, do we have to get bed sheets now for him? Because currently he's still in his like little onesie. That's it. And with no we've introduced a pillow. But other than that, we haven't done that. There's
so much contradictory information online as well about whether or not, you know, they should sleep in a bed yet or stay in the cot, or, you know, should you introduce a duvet, a pillow, like when's the best time? And there's so much information, like 2 years old, you have to do it. And some people are like, I did it at 12 months and he was fine, well, 1 year. And I just don't know what to believe. So it's like, do we just gauge it ourselves, or do we take professional advice and talk to a midwife?
I feel like we've always just done what we've thought best as parents. Like, one thing that I would, looking back at the situation with the sleeping thing, is I would like to co-sleep with my next child a little bit longer than we did with Rocket, just because I didn't really get to co-sleep with him at all. And apparently...
You mean like in bed? Or do you mean... Oh, wow.
Yeah, co-sleep.
But then you kind of like... because he was our first child, it's like... kind of scary co-sleeping.
Oh my
so you're
God,
just terrified you're going to roll onto them. You're not going to.
I definitely think it was because we just were we'd heard all the awful stories about it. So we got a snuzz pod, and that was great because he was right next to us. I could pull down the mesh and then it would be like he was next to us.
Yeah.
So we had that.
The snuzz pod.
But one of the reasons, I'm not going to lie to you, I think one of the reasons he's so good at sleeping is because he's always slept on his own.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know any different. He's consistently been next to our bed, or sometimes we'd move him to the other side. This was before we put him in the cot. We were like, let's try different locations in the room. So he didn't get comfortable in one spot. And I think that actually helped because he's a good sleeper and he sleeps good anywhere.
He's actually, like, that was going to be my point when you said anywhere. Like, he actually sleeps really well no matter where you take him. Like, if we take him to my mum's, your mum's, dad's, whatever, he'll always just sleep through the night, and he's very relaxed sleeping wherever. So he doesn't get worried. I think that my mum said the other day that he's starting to notice his surroundings. So if he's unfamiliar, like if he wakes up in the night and he doesn't know where he is, he does have a bit of a panic, but then he can settle himself quite easily.
He's very good at settling himself. And today, he picked him up from nursery, and they were like, he didn't have his dummy all day. Hurrah! Yes, I'm telling you, it's happening.
Hurrah!
But we're going to start potty training soon. So get ready for some content on the potty training. Are you nervous?
I'm nervous. I
could do it when you're away, and then you come back and then it's done.
I enjoy changing his nappy. I don't really have any issues with that. But
what was the first...
I don't want to jump the gun too much. We tend to like do things quite early, and I don't want to jump the gun all the time.
Okay, so tell me. What was the first ever nappy changing video?
The first nappy changing video was on the dining room table downstairs.
Where we eat.
Where we eat,
Great.
yeah. I mean, on like a thing, we had that little, whatever you call it.
I feel like we should post it on
thing.
the Instagram.
But the first ever changing video.
And be like flashback to
the reason why you're all here.
You're here.
Changing videos.
So people are like, our agent called us the other day, she was like, don't you dare potty train
yeah.
me yet. I was like,
you have to keep doing the nappy videos or you have another child.
Yeah, either or. So let's put a vote in the comments. Shall we have another child? That's the next thing.
Oh my goodness. Oh God. What's that face for?
You know what that face is for.
What, if we have another child, what do you want to call it?
No.
What?
I'm not going to call my child Britney Spears.
Oh, you want to talk about besties with Brit?
Besties with Brit. So apparently she was in Glasgow. She flew in. Now, when I heard
Where
about
was
this,
she?
Elton, Glasgow. Oh no, is it Bristol? It was Bristol, wasn't it?
Glastonbury is what you're thinking of. That's why you said Glasgow.
No, but she flew in. She was
Bristol, which is where Glastonbury is.
Right. So, can I just say, I'm not good at locations and places. People know this, okay? Let's just.
Where are we? The number 4 podcast.
Oh my God, I'm Dory.
She's Dory. She's Dory.
I'm so freaking
Number
Dory.
4 in the world. In.
Oh, the Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that was good.
Well
I'm
done.
blaming this hangover, to be honest. This is why I don't drink, and my heart is aching so much. I actually can't believe we got off the plane and went straight to the hospital about my heart.
Yeah. She was like, "You've got nothing wrong. I think you got a bit of anxiety."
Like, I actually went on a hen do, and I came off and went, I need to go get my heart tested. That goes to show how good.
That's how hard you went on this hen.
Yeah, I feel like I did my part really well. Anyway, regardless of that, Britney was caught at Bristol Airport, apparently, seen, but there was no images. So I think it was a far-fetched message because Elton John did a post saying, I'm going to have a special guest joining me at Glastonbury. Now, everybody thought it was going to be Britney because obviously they had that song.
They had the song Tanner Dancer.
Or Dua Lipa, and it wasn't either.
Who was it?
It was just a random guy he's never sang with.
What?
I know.
But who is it? Do you know who it is? I bet it's
No.
someone really famous and you're saying he's a random guy.
He's a random guy.
It's not a random guy. It's going to be someone super famous.
Okay, hang on. Right.
We often talk about how old we feel like we are. And we also talk about how we feel like we're a little bit out of touch with current music. There's a lot of like...
I mean, that's saying a lot because I'm fucking
You're a DJ. But also I think that the current state of music, the really popular stuff, I swear 90% of it is hip-hop or like UK grime. There's so much like hip-hop, grime, all that stuff. It like fills the charts, and you're not really into that. I'm not massively into it, maybe like a fraction more than you are. So I thought what I would do is I'm going to go on across every stage on each day, and I'm going to pick one artist from the top 3. So the top 3 meaning the headliner, the second headliner, and the third headliner. So everyone who played from 6 p.m. onwards.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to pick one from each day.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if you know who they are.
Okay.
On Friday, one of the top 3 artists that performed were called the Churn-Ups. Ever heard of them?
No.
Me neither. Saturday, you had Guns N' Roses, Lizzo, and Lewis Capaldi. You know those 3, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Sunday, Elton John, Lil Nas, and Blondie.
Yes.
You know those 3? You know
Well,
Lil
he's a
Nas?
classic.
Yeah, I know. You know Lil Nas?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sing me one of his songs.
I mean, come on.
I told you long ago, I know I got what you're looking for. So then the second big stage is called the other stage, which I think is where the DJs are. But the headliner was WizKid.
Oh, I love WizKid.
Who the hell is WizKid?
No, WizKid's really good.
DJ?
Yeah, no, he's a rapper.
Second to headliner, I thought he was going to be a headliner. Fred again. Oh, he's doing so well at the moment, bro. Smashing it. And he's so good at performing. I have to add, like, you know, when it's like you see someone smashing it, like you had a bit of a dig the other day about it, I gotta say, when I mentioned that Fred again had done a song with Skrillex, and you were like, Skrillex just jumps on every person who's climbing the ranks and it's getting annoying. And I agree with you. Like, he kind of goes on every genre. Yeah, it's because he's big though, big name.
But the thing is like, if you are a DJ, let's just get this right, guys. Like, we are DJs because we love all different types of music.
True.
Especially if you're working DJ. And when we say working, it's very, very different to being I'm going to DJ just my music, aka tech, or, you know, if you were a lot of people that play places like Egg and
in King's Cross,
Fabric, etc. It's all very much they play that genre and they stick to that genre. And at the beginning of my journey as a DJ, I was like, right, tropical house, that's going to be my thing.
Yeah.
Then I changed, and you are allowed to evolve as a woman. You are allowed to evolve as an artist. And I just kind of went from loving trap and tropical, and I called it trapical, to loving house music. And now I'm going through a stage of like loving a bit of EDM with like some big ballads on top. Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now. So, hey, we're allowed to change and we're allowed to evolve. So do you want to know this artist that Elton John brought on, who was going to be, who we all thought was going to be Britney Spears?
Go on.
Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton is the freaking actor that played Elton John in the biopic.
Oh, okay, right. God knows.
Taron Egerton plays Elton John in the movie about Elton John, which was called...
Elton John.
No, it wasn't called Elton John. What was it called? Elton John had a freaking...
Oh, it was for his song, wasn't it? He called it after a song.
So we had the Queen one was Rocket Man.
We should really know that.
We should know that. Yeah. I feel like we should know that.
We played Rocket Man about 10 times the minute he was born, and I would cry every single time I played it. I was I just couldn't, like, looking back at that feeling of him in our arms as a baby, that song just gives me all the friggin' feels.
Can we also talk about the fact that Krept and Conan performed after Carly Rae Jepsen on the same stage?
Who, by the way, was...
Crapola.
Oh, wow.
Sorry to say it. I mean, I don't mean it, but we were listening to BBC Radio 2 while she was waiting for a heart appointment straight off the plane, and they were playing Carly Rae Jepsen's set on BBC Radio 2 from Glastonbury, and it wasn't that good.
It wasn't good. Full stop. It wasn't good. But, hey-ho. Where have you been, girl?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, she released that song a very long time ago.
A very long time ago. I mean, I think we weren't even dating when that was released. I think 2012, maybe? 13?
Oh, my God. I don't even know. It was when Bieber had been around for like 2 or 3 years. And then, so his manager, Scooter Braun, started bringing on more people, and she was one of them.
Yeah.
But she was singing about, like, you know, call me maybe, like kiddie songs. But isn't she like in her late 20s or something? She's actually like a lot older than people think she is.
No, she's my age, I thought. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're old as fuck.
Babe, I'm pushing 40.
Yeah, I know. What will I do?
Oh, wow.
I'm a cougar hunter.
She's older than me.
I told you, she's way older than people think.
Wow.
You're like 41. And so she's like, what, 40?
She's 37.
She's 37.
And I'm 35.
Exactly. So when she released Call Me, she was like in her, what?
Early 30s.
Like early 30s. And she was like a kiddie performer. Anyway, number 4 in the Philippines, I Love You. We talked about Glastonbury. We talked about lots of fun things. Yeah. I think that I'm excited to go to Saudi, but I'm going to miss you loads. 4 weeks.
I know.
4 weeks.
I can't believe that. So we will see you soon. What we had this thing where we were saying goodbye to each other on the pod. What was it? See you soon and see you later, or whatever it's freaking called.
That sounds great. Let's do that. See you soon and see you later.
Okay, ready? After 3.
Cool.
1, 2, 3. See you soon.
See you later.